Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. I'm picking every NFL game this weekend, Perna. How'd I do last week? Don't know. Don't fucking care. You demanded a pick'em episode, so you get it every week now, and I am not going to be held responsible for how shitty I was the week before. My goal is to predict every game using real football analysis or just a ridiculous premise I make up in my head. We've got point spreads, some injury updates, and my imagination to guide us through week 2 of the NFL. And my imagination once created the taste of filet mignon when I was eating a milk steak with Charlie Day. That's good sports. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're old here, click that fucking notification button. Also, this episode is sponsored by BetDSI.com, one of the most trusted sports books out there. Use the link in my description to get to BetDSI and my promo code GS100, and BetDSI will match your initial offer up to $1,000. That's free money for you to take advantage of, and let's jump in to football pick'ems. Game 1, the 0-1 Colts at the 1-0 Redskin Potatoes. Washington, 5.5-point favorites with a 46 over-under. Andrew Luck and Frank Reich quarterback 2 of the biggest comebacks in NFL history, with Luck's coming against Alex Smith in the playoffs. So if the Colts get down big in this game, don't worry, they're just waiting for Reich to grab a jersey, come in, and throw 3 touchdowns to Andre Reed for the win. How many comebacks does almost Colts head coach Josh McDaniels have under his belt as an NFL QB? 0. But he does have 3 big-time douchebag coaching moves. My point, Indy, you're better off with Reich. Give me the Colts to get their first win as huge underdogs. Game 2, 1-0 Panthers at 0-1 Falcons. And Atlanta, even with a losing record, are 5.5-point favorites at home. Over-under at 44.5. Julio Jones is well on his way to 1,600 yards and 0 touchdowns this year as Atlanta squanders talent. Much like the second season of True Detective. The upcoming third season, though, looks dope. I say dope. On the other side, you've got the Panthers' two-headed monster in C.J. Anderson and Christian McCaffrey, otherwise known as Smash and Dash, Thunder and Lightning, or Ridley and Diddley, Quacky and Wacky, or whatever stupid nicknames they give running back duos. I like Atlanta and the under. Game 3, the 0-1 Chargers at the 0-1 Bills. Los Angeles 7.5-point favorites, over-under at 43. If you take the over, you have to believe the Chargers will score 40 points, because after last week we know Buffalo is only good for 3, and the Bengals smoked the Ravens last night. QB Nate Peterman had the worst quarterback rating week 1 with a 0. That is why Josh Allen will start. Peterman threw 5 picks in 1/2 the last time the Bills and Chargers met, which is a low bar for any first-time starter. But if there's anyone up to the challenge, it's Josh Allen and the Bills' offensive line. I definitely think the Chargers cover the spread, even without Joey Bosa. Game 4, 1-0 Chiefs at 0-1 Steelers. Pittsburgh, 4.5-point favorites at home. That line keeps moving. Over-under at 53.5, highest of the week, which means this game will feature no defense. And worse haircuts than a Mark Davis orgy. I have no idea why a black guy would try and make the mullet cool, but James Conner has officially invented the armadillo mullet. Tyler Eifert, your move, buddy. Now, Big Ben may start slow in this game, but that's because he's still waiting for the second overtime to start in Cleveland. Patrick Mahomes is already being anointed a Hall of Famer in Kansas City, which is funny because last season Alex Smith also threw 4 touchdowns week 1 for 100 more yards than Mahomes with a completion percentage of 80 against the Patriots, and the Chiefs dumped him. The over-under for Chiefs fans turning on their quarterback, even though he's really not the problem, by week 15 is 1,000,000%. Please, Steelers, shut the annoying Chiefs fans up with a win. Big Ben on the injury report, as is tradition for the QB all season, every season. Game 5, 1-0 Dolphins at 1-0 Jets. New York, 2.5-point favorites at home on a short week. Over-under at 43. The Bills were the only team in the AFC East to lose last week. Will either of these teams be good enough to challenge the Patriots? Aqib Talib thinks so.
Okay.
The Jets.
Oh, yeah.
Jets.
Yeah.
Led by Sam Darnold and this ball-hawking defense. They can win
They're not gonna win
the AFC East.
No,
They can get it done.
Talib might poke your fucking eye out, steal your man necklace, or shoot himself in the leg, but he'd never be hyperbolic about football. Give me the Jets, baby, Jets. You Jets. And let me bet on them to win the AFC East. $30 will win me $270 if Aqib Talib is right. If not, Talib, you owe me $30. Game 6, the 1-0 Eagles at 1-0 Buccaneers. Philly 3-point favorites on the road with the extra rest from the Thursday night game, over-under at 44. Tampa corner Vernon Hargreaves placed on IR this week, and their other corner Brent Grimes still not practicing with a groin injury. Think he'll be a game-time decision. This is the matchup of backup quarterbacks with Big Dick Nick squaring off against Ryan Fitzpatrick. One went to Harvard, and one went to the University of Arizona, which is pretty much the Harvard of Arizona. Tampa Bay is likely without their starting corner, so I think Big Dick Nick might outshine Gandalf. The Eagles go 2-0, but I like the under, Darren Sproles' hamstring injury. Game 7, the 0-1 Browns and the 0-1 Saints. New Orleans are 9.5-point favorites, over-under at 49. Picking Cleveland to cover the points with another tie. Nobody's feelings get hurt if they tie. And I want the Browns to tie every fucking game this season, which means with an overtime quarter every week, they would basically play 3 extra games this season. You know which teams play in an extra 3 games? Super Bowl teams. Also, the Browns were +5 in turnovers last week. The all-time NFL record for teams +5 in turnovers is 132-4-1. 2 of those losses and the tie belong to Cleveland. You can't make that shit up. If you like money, take the Saints. If you like believing in miracles, take the Browns to cover the spread like a censored Hustler magazine. Game 8. 0-1 Cardinals at the 1-0 Rams. Los Angeles, the biggest spread of the week at 13-point faves over the Cardinals, over under 45. The only thing bigger than this spread is Sam Bradford's sleeves. What are you hiding in those sleeves, Sammy? The secret to making tons of money without ever really working for it? Blackmail on all 32 NFL GMs? Rams by $1 billion here, please. If Usain Bolt is still the fastest man in outer space, then the Rams are still the best team in the NFC West. Game 9, 0-1 Lions at 0-1 49ers. One of these losers gonna get a win this weekend. San Francisco 6-point favorites with the 48.5 over-under. Matt Patricia got absolutely steamrolled in his debut, which was made worse by his stupid backwards hat. It might be time to switch to a top hat, or a fedora, or even a comically large cowboy hat and dark sunglasses to disguise your identity as the worst new head coaching hire of the season. Overreaction, I think he'll be okay. Similarly, Jimmy G and the Niners lost, but Garoppolo knows better than anybody that it's not how you start, it's where you finish. Again, I chose the GQ Model QB over frat boy cutie Stafford. If the Lions do win, it will be because Stafford and Patricia sync their backwards hats and find that chemistry everyone says is in shambles in Detroit. Game 10. 1-0 Patriots at 1-0 Jaguars. New England just a 1.5-point favorite on the road, 45.5 over-under. The smart bet is to take the Patriots. If you ever see New England favored by 3 points or less, you take that bet. Don't count out the Jags, however. They may have struggled a little against the Giants, but much like their linebacker Miles Jack, they're never really down. Jalen Ramsey is still a quote machine.
I mean, if my brother, if my dad, if my mom, grandma was out there, like, it's on. Like, after the game, we can be cool. It doesn't matter. That's how I feel like you got to respect the game of football. Football is not a game meant to be played, being nice to each other. And
you wouldn't really hit your grandma.
No, I definitely would. She know that.
Every NFL player has his quirks. Ramsey would hit his grandma out of respect for the game. Tom Brady jerks off into his helmet out of respect for the game. Cardinals GM Steve Keim drives drunk as fuck out of respect for his Ford F-150. Respect. I bet on the Jags, going against my own advice out of respect for losing money. Respect. Game 11, Raiders at Broncos, and you'll have to watch my preview episode to get my pick there. Should be up tonight or tomorrow morning. Now, John Gruden is still trying to solve the mystery of their missing pass rush. And much like OJ looking for the real killer, he won't rest until he finds the son of a bitch who did it.
OJ, yeah, la 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 la. OJ,
she knows that. Oh, gee.
Game 12, 0-1 Giants at 0-1 Cowboys. Dallas, 3-point favorites at home, over under 42.5. Interesting because Dallas looked like shit week 1. The Giants looked pretty good against a very good Jaguars team. Everybody is pumped for another Giants Cowboys Sunday night football game, which only comes around as often as such rare occurrences as the sun rising or the earth spinning on its fucking axis. The year we don't get the Giants and Cowboys on Sunday night football is the year the Browns get 5 turnovers in a game and a win. The year Republicans unanimously accept climate change as a scientific reality, and the year the sun burns out, much like Dak Prescott over the last year. I like the Giants to get a W. Game 13, 0-1 Texans at 0-1 Titans. Houston, 2.5-point favorites with the over-under at 44. Marcus Mariota will play with an elbow injury. He had numbness in his hand this week. The Titans offense has been numb since Steve McNair left in 2007. Delaney Walker, their best weapon, is done for the season. Deshaun Watson was not good week 1, but he was facing the Patriots. And you know Belichick started game planning for that game in the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl loss. I like the Texans barely. Over under, no fucking clue. It'll either be way over or way below. Game 14, the 1-0 Vikings at the 1-0 Packers. Minnesota is a 2-point favorite over Green Bay. Over under at 45. Game of the week unless Rodgers sits. He's probably sitting, right? He's got a sprained knee. Why play a quarterback with a sprained knee when he's the MVP of your team, MVP of the league, and MVP of all of your wives' and girlfriends' football fantasies, even with a knee sprain? He can perform in their minds. I think the Vikings would win this game even if Rodgers plays. He's really not healthy. If he doesn't play, Minnesota is going to own this game, and Deshaun Kaiser might set the record for most interceptions in a single performance. All around, Minnesota may be the best team in the league right now. Wait until Saturday night or Sunday morning if you want to bet on this one for the Rodgers decision. And finally, Game 15, Monday Night Football, the 0-1 Seahawks at the 0-1 Bears. Bears 3-point favorites at home, over under 43. I think everyone wants to see if the Bears can rebound from their nightmare loss to the Packers the same way Aaron Rodgers rebounded from Olivia Munn with Danica Patrick. In real life, a bear would tear apart a Seahawk, eat it, and silently shit it out in the mountains. These Bears won't be that dominant, but I expect Khalil Mack to give Russell Wilson just as many problems as Von Miller did last week. If Seattle does win, it's because Mitch Trubisky still hasn't figured out how to throw a fucking touchdown pass. Give me the Bears, though. And that's it. Those are all of your Week 2 NFL predictions. I hope they were satisfactory. You ever blow your nose with a paper towel? I like the grit of it. You kind of need it with the beard, too. A Kleenex just doesn't cut it. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. We do a weekly podcast, half NFL, half Broncos. Goes up on my second channel, That's Good Broncos, every week. And every Monday I do NFL recaps here. Check them out. Click these videos on the screen if you want more football videos. Oh.